Hello everybody. I thought I would just do another proof because sometimes students have difficulty with subproofs, and especially both disjunction elimination, which I have another proof for, and negation, introduction, and elimination. So um, if we look at our conclusion here, as of course noted, I already have my premises already entered, and of course I have everything set up in a table. If we look at the conclusion I'm trying to get, I'm trying to say not P and Q. So the way negation introduction works is if I assume that P and Q is true, and then I can somehow show that that results in a contradiction, then I've shown that it can't be true because I'd have an assumption that results in something contradictory. So, so let's just go ahead and try that. I thought I had cut that there. So we will assume P and Q. This is line 4, and that is just an assumption. I'll put a divider here just to keep the assumptions of the subproof separate from the rest of the proof. Now what can I do? Well, when in doubt, just start breaking things up. I can get P and I can get Q from that assumption, and both those are just conjunction elimination on line 4. And it's the same thing for both of those. So now I have P and Q on separate lines. What can I do with that as raw material? Well, I can get not Q, right? Um, from modus ponens there, right? So modus ponens on lines 2 and 5. Okay, and as you could see, I already got my contradiction because I got P and Q, and I got not Q, right? So I have contradiction. For that, we just put an X there to show contradiction, and then we cite the 2 lines of the contradiction. Oops, 6 and 7 there. And because this resulted in a contradiction, we know that that's not true. And it's the whole sentence that's not true, so it goes in parentheses, P and Q. And there you go. It's pretty simple. That is negation introduction. Negation elimination works the same way. It would just mean that you start off with something negated, and then you show that there's a contradiction, and then you remove the negation. So they work exactly the same way. It just depends on whether or not you start with a negation and you eliminate it, or you start with no negation and you add one. So hopefully that is helpful, and I will talk to you later.